The article I chose for this week's assignment was entitled Risk of Repeated Self-Harm and Associated Factors in Children, Adolescents, and Young Adults. I found this article very interesting, and this is a hot topic currently on my campus as I teach at a middle school, and discussing self-harm and suicidal tendencies, thoughts, and prevention on campus has been a really big topic for us this year. And a major focus for us. So that's why this article struck my attention. Some interesting information that I found from it was that in this particular study, young adults, males and females, were categorized, and self-harm was used to determine predictability of future suicide attempts. And I found it interesting that young men had a higher percentage of suicidal attempts after self-harm or multiple attempts at self-harm, whereas young ladies or females had a lower percentage. I found that interesting, as in my thought was that it was going to be quite the opposite in my personal experience with young ladies, especially on a middle school campus. Young ladies are very apt to partake in self-harm and discuss suicidal ideation versus young men, in my personal experience. So I found that information quite differing from what I had originally thought. And I also found it interesting how the study took place in Ireland and utilized 35 different hospitals and emergency centers, and used the World Health Organization's definition of self-harm, which includes intentional drug overdose, alcohol overdose, and lacerations, and excluded unintentional self-harm. So in a situation where a young person maybe took more medication than they had intended, so the harm was not deliberate, those cases were removed from this particular study. So I just really found all of the information provided in this article really almost a little contradictory to what I had assumed under this topic, and also kind of enticed me as to what our statistical data would reflect and if it would be similar or different here in the States. Because the incidents used in this article were reported incidents or individuals who took themselves to an emergency care center, I found that very interesting because I know working on a school campus, oftentimes the individuals that I see don't necessarily seek medical attention when they partake in self-harm. I know we today discussed how students utilize erasers to burn themselves. So in my opinion, this would be classified as a self-harm act. However, these students aren't severely burning themselves to where they would need medical attention or where parents would easily detect the burns and seek medical attention for them. So I found all of this very, very interesting, and an area where I would like to continue researching.